Hi everybody, it's Rusty from Pickleball Channel. In today's Pickleball 411, we're going to bring you the most complete video ever about the non-volley zone rule in the history of the universe. So let's learn and play.
Pickleball 411 is powered by Highlands Leg Cramps, proud supporter of pickleball players everywhere.
On today's Pickleball 411, once again I'm here with top pros Jennifer Lucor and Alex Hamner, who recently you may have seen help us debunk 3 myths about being in the kitchen. But we actually get lots of questions about the actual rule itself. So you guys, what are we going to talk about today?
First, we're going to go over the rule and clarify some definitions.
Then together, we're going to demonstrate some non-volley zone faults in real gameplay situations.
And for this video, remember, the non-volley zone and the kitchen are the exact same thing. So let's break it down. The non-volley zone rule actually has 12 different distinctions, which is part of the reason we're making this video. The complete rule book is downloadable from the USAPA and the IFP. A simple version of the rule has 3 main components.
Number 1, you're not allowed to touch the non-volley zone when volleying.
Number 2, both feet must contact the playing surface outside the non-volley zone before and after you hit a volley.
And number 3, no part of your body or what you're wearing or have touched can contact the non-volley zone in the act of volleying.
Otherwise, it's a fault.
So now, let's get more specific.
Many people think the non-volley zone includes the 3D space or the air above the court, but it's literally just the flat surface of the court itself, which includes the lines all the way to their very edges.
A volley is any time you hit the ball out of the air before it bounces. For example, an overhead, a normal volley, or even hitting the ball right before it bounces on the court.
It's any time you hit the ball before it bounces, and for this rule, it includes the swing, the follow-through, and your body's momentum.
Many of these faults happen really fast at tournaments. There is no instant replay, so be patient with your refs.
And remember, all of this applies only to the person hitting the volley or anything he or she touches.
For example, your partner can be in the kitchen while you volley, as long as you don't touch them.
And now for the fun part.
So let's go through some examples of non-volley zone faults resulting in the loss of a rally.
You can't just run into the non-volley zone and slam a volley, or step on the non-volley zone line as you volley. Whether it's just your toe,
or even your little finger, it's a fault.
If any part of your body touches the non-volley zone surface, including the lines as part of a volley, it's a fault.
To clarify, if a ball bounces high enough in the non-volley zone, it's okay to come in and slam it back over the net, because it bounced. Now, if your paddle touches as you volley, that's a fault. Or, if you drop your paddle because you volley, it's also a fault.
So in fact, if your hat falls in, your sunglasses, your hair scrunchie, your keys, or even your shoe or snack, if anything you touch contacts the non-volley zone because of a volley, it's a fault.
That means if you knock your partner's paddle into the non-volley zone when you volley, it's a fault. Or if you push off your partner who is touching the non-volley zone, it's a fault too. If you're moving toward the non-volley zone and your momentum takes you in, that's a fault. Even if you just step in because of momentum, that's a fault.
If you use your hand to keep your balance and you touch the non-volley zone, that's a fault. If you use your paddle to keep from falling in and it touches the non-volley zone, that's also a fault.
Even if your momentum carries you into the non-volley zone after the ball is dead, it's still a fault.
To clarify, it's okay when returning a ball that bounced if your momentum carries you into the non-volley zone because the ball bounced. And also, it's okay to get help from your partner if they're outside the non-volley zone.
Okay, this one can confuse people. If a player's made contact with the non-volley zone for any reason, they cannot hit a volley until after both feet have made contact completely outside the non-volley zone. Here are some examples.
Jumping up to volley from inside the non-volley zone and then landing outside the non-volley zone is still a fault. If you're outside the non-volley zone, but push off to catch a volley and your foot happens to touch any part of the non-volley zone, it's a fault. because both feet didn't make contact outside the non-volley zone before the volley.
Sometimes players try to jump the corner of the non-volley zone to volley. A fault occurs when you step through the kitchen to make a volley, but your second foot doesn't make contact outside the non-volley zone before you touch the ball. To clarify, if you step over the corner of the non-volley zone and neither foot touches it, it's okay to volley because you never touched the non-volley zone. It's also okay to step through the non-volley zone if both feet have contacted the surface outside of the non-volley zone before you hit the volley. And remember, for everything else, the only thing that matters with non-volley zone faults is if a player is volleying.
Who goes in, when and for how long they're in, doesn't matter as long as the ball bounces and they don't hit a volley.
Check out the other video we did about that.
And for play without a referee, any of the players can call a non-volley zone fault. The benefit of the doubt goes to whoever calls the fault.
So let's summarize.
So that's your Pickleball 411 for today. Jennifer and Alex, thank you so much for coming out this week.
Anytime, Rusty.
We really do hope this has been helpful. And now there's only one thing left to do, and that's
Go play!
If there's something you think Pickleball 411 should cover, we'd love to hear from you. All you have to do is send us an email and tell us your idea. This episode of Pickleball 411 has been brought to you by Highlands Leg Cramps, America's #1 over-the-counter leg cramp medicine. For more information, go to highlands.com.